Everything in life begins with what happens inside of you. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your future. You cannot plant negative seeds and expect positive fruit. You cannot feed your mind with doubt and expect to live with confidence. Growth is not something that just happens when life gets easier. It happens when you get stronger. Most people are waiting for the right time, the right situation, or the right person before they start growing. They say, once things settle down, I'll start improving myself. But the truth is, growth is never about conditions. It's about decisions. The day you decide to change your inner world, your outer world starts to transform. Think about it like a garden. The soil must be rich, healthy, and cared for before any seed can flourish. Your mindset is that soil. If it's dry with fear, resentment, or laziness, then no matter how much you hope for better results, your future won't grow. But if you water your mind with optimism, gratitude, and persistence, you'll see growth in every corner of your life. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not with the world, it's with yourself. It's the battle between who you are now and who you are capable of becoming. Growth begins the moment you refuse to be a prisoner of your old habits and your old excuses. You must plant new thoughts, pull out the weeds of negativity, and guard your mind like a gardener protects his field. When you start working on yourself, something powerful happens. The world starts working with you. People begin to respond differently. Opportunities begin to appear. Life starts aligning with your effort. Why? Because when you elevate your inner world, your outer world naturally follows. So if you want to grow your future, stop asking, what's happening out there? And start asking, what's happening in here? The only limits that truly exist are the ones you accept in your own mind. Once you learn to master your thoughts, you can shape your destiny. Now that you understand growth starts from within, there's a truth you must embrace. You are fully responsible for your life. That might sound heavy, but it's also the most empowering truth you'll ever accept. Responsibility is not about blame, it's about power. The moment you blame circumstances, people, or the past, you hand over your power to change. You say, it's not my fault, but what you're really saying is, it's not in my control. And if it's not in your control, how can you grow? Taking responsibility means saying, my life is a reflection of my decisions, and I have the power to make new ones. It's realizing that you can't rewrite your past, but you can redesign your future. It's understanding that every result you see in your life today, good or bad, was built by the choices you made yesterday. That realization can sting a little, but it's also liberating, because if you built this life through your past choices, you can build a better one through better choices. You see, no one is coming to save you. Not the government, not luck, not some miracle moment. Your future grows the moment you decide to stop waiting and start building. Responsibility turns waiting into working, wishing into doing, and complaining into creating. Every great transformation begins with this one decision. I am accountable for everything that happens in my life, and I am capable of changing it. Once you own that truth, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your destiny. Life will always throw challenges your way, loss, failure, rejection. But when you take responsibility, you don't run from them. You rise through them. You learn, you adapt, you grow, because now you know that life isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens for you. And that shift changes everything. Responsibility gives you clarity. It gives you confidence. It gives you direction. It reminds you that while you can't control the wind, you can adjust your sails. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for someone to come fix your life. It's your future, your dream, your journey, and it begins the moment you take full responsibility for it. Discipline is the foundation on which all growth stands. You cannot grow your future with random bursts of effort. You build it through steady, consistent action. Success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every single day. Think about it. Every day you are planting seeds. Every thought, every action, every habit, it all adds up. The question is, what kind of seeds are you planting? You can't plant excuses and expect results. You can't plant laziness and expect success. The future grows from the small, often invisible choices you make when no one's watching. Discipline is not a punishment. It's the greatest form of self-respect. When you discipline yourself, you are saying to your future, I value you enough to work for you. It's waking up when you said you would. It's doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your dreams. Most people think growth happens in big, dramatic moments, a new job, a big break, a lucky opportunity. But the truth is, growth happens quietly. It happens in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the hours when no one claps for you. Those moments when you choose effort over comfort, that's where your future is being built. Small disciplines create big transformations. Reading 10 pages a day might not seem like much, but do it for a year, and you'll have read hundreds of pages of wisdom. Saving a small amount every week might look insignificant, but in time, it creates financial freedom. Working out for just 30 minutes may feel minor, but over months, it transforms your body and energy. The truth is, discipline compounds. Just as bad habits multiply your regrets, good habits multiply your rewards. Every day you stick to your disciplines, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And here's something to remember. Motivation will not always be there, but discipline doesn't need permission. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is a decision. The emotion fades, but the decision remains. When you rely only on motivation, you'll work when you feel like it. When you rely on discipline, you'll work whether you feel like it or not. And that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. So if you want to grow your future, master your daily routines. Build habits that support your dreams, not destroy them, because every disciplined day is a brick laid toward the life you've imagined. No one grows alone. The environment you choose will shape the direction of your growth. You cannot surround yourself with people who doubt, complain, and quit, and expect to grow confident, strong, and persistent. Your circle is like soil. It can either nourish your roots or poison them. If you're always around people who make excuses, you'll start believing excuses are normal. If you're always around people who talk about dreams but never take action, soon you'll mistake talk for progress. But when you surround yourself with people who are hungry to grow, who challenge you, who celebrate effort as much as results, you'll feel your own potential rise. Growth-minded people stretch you. They don't let you settle for mediocrity. They see the greatness in you when you've forgotten it yourself. They push you beyond comfort, not to break you, but to help you discover how strong you really are. Sometimes, growing your future requires you to outgrow your current circle. That's one of the hardest but most necessary decisions you'll make. You'll have to distance yourself from negativity, gossip, and small thinking. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you're serious about your future. Be around people who talk about ideas, not just problems. Be around people who are driven, curious, and kind, because their energy becomes your energy. If you walk with dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. If you walk with learners, you'll start seeking more knowledge. And if you walk with doers, you'll start taking more action. Your environment can either pull you down or lift you higher. Choose the one that helps you grow, because growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by association. Every person you allow in your circle is either adding to your energy or draining it. Pay attention, protect your peace, guard your focus. Surround yourself with people who remind you of where you're going, not where you've been. And remember, when you're around people who believe in growth, something amazing happens. Belief becomes contagious. You start seeing possibility where you once saw limitation. You begin to believe that your future can truly be greater than your past. Your future grows in direct proportion to how much you learn and how clearly you see. Learning and vision are the twin engines that carry your life forward. Without learning, your mind becomes limited. Without vision, your steps lose direction. Growth needs both. A mind that keeps expanding and a heart that keeps believing. You see, the world is constantly changing. Technology shifts, opportunities evolve, and challenges appear that no one could predict. The only way to keep up, to stay strong, to stay relevant, is to keep learning. The person who stops learning is not just standing still, they're moving backward because life never stops moving. Learning is not just about books, classrooms, or degrees. It's about curiosity. It's about asking questions, observing the world, and searching for answers. Every day holds a lesson. In success, in failure, in people, and even in silence. The key is to stay open. Read something that challenges you. Listen to people who know more than you. Watch how others solve problems, how they handle success, how they respond to loss. The more you learn, the more tools you have to build your future. Think of your mind like a bank. Every piece of knowledge you deposit earns interest. The more you deposit, the richer you become in understanding, confidence, and opportunity. There's no greater return on investment than the one you make in yourself. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You can learn all you want, but if you don't have a vision, your knowledge has no direction. Vision gives learning its purpose. Vision is what turns information into inspiration and potential into progress. Vision is more than a dream. It's a clear picture of where you're going. It's the reason behind your effort, the light that keeps you moving when the road gets dark. Without vision, it's easy to drift. You wake up, you work, you eat, you sleep, but you don't feel alive. Vision gives meaning to your days. It reminds you that what you're doing today matters for who you'll become tomorrow. The future doesn't belong to those who have the most resources. It belongs to those with the clearest vision. Because when you know where you're going, you find the strength to endure the journey. When the vision is strong enough, the obstacles become smaller. Sometimes your vision will scare you, and that's good. A vision should stretch you, not comfort you. It should remind you that you are capable of more than you've done, that your best days aren't behind you, they're ahead of you. But here's the truth. Vision fades without reinforcement. You must feed it daily with learning. Read books that lift your thinking. Listen to voices that speak to your potential, not your fears. Spend time in places that remind you of what's possible, not what's impossible. When you combine learning and vision, something powerful happens. You start seeing opportunities where others see limitations. You start connecting dots that others overlook. You begin to create instead of complain. You lead instead of follow. Every great achiever you admire once stood where you stand now, uncertain, unsure, but willing to learn and believe. They chose to keep feeding their mind with knowledge and their heart with vision. That's what separated them from those who gave up too soon. Your future will never grow beyond your understanding or your imagination. That's why you must keep learning to understand more, and you must keep dreaming to imagine more. The moment you stop doing either, your growth stops too. So ask yourself, what am I learning today that will help me tomorrow? And what kind of future do I see for myself, for my family, for my life? Because your learning will shape your ability and your vision will shape your destiny. Never forget, your mind is your most powerful investment, and your vision is the map that shows you where that investment will take you.